Hi everyone, this is Joel with Ocean View Fitness, and this video is exclusively for my email newsletter subscribers. I wanted to make a video that maybe could add some value to your day and maybe get you going on something that you can even use within the next couple minutes. So let's get started. Now what I'd like to talk about today is the input that you put into your mind that creates your thoughts, which creates actions and creates the outcomes, either negative or positive. So the first things we'll do is we'll examine what we put in our mind at the start of our day, or any time we're in the day, even if you're at your office listening to the radio, whatever it is, we'll look at those now. So TV, is it positive or negative input? TV probably can be half and half. It depends on what you watch at night. If you watch like a soap opera, or if you watch, a commercial, it's going to have mixed signals in there, but usually the commercials leave you feeling dissatisfied. So just be careful what you watch, what kind of shows, and if you make sure it's positive, there's nothing wrong with TV. The news, well, the news we all know is very negative. You can't really control what the news tells you. And the reason being, people like controversy, they like suspense, they like chaos. That's why the news is so negative. Now there's a lot of positive things happening in the world, but they don't show that, because if there was a 90% switch in balance, whether positive, the negative, no one will watch the positive side because it's not as exciting as the negative. So just make sure that when you watch the news, it's either the weather or something that's uplifting, maybe a story of a motivational person who overcame all odds or something, I don't know. Just make sure it's not something that's really driving in your mind negative thoughts. Books can be awesome. I always like reading, a motivational book, or maybe a true story, or something that really inspires me to do something great. Now, if you like books that are fictional, tell short stories or science fiction, that's up to you. But just be sure that when you're reading it, you realize it's not creating negative thoughts in your mind and negative outcomes later on in the future. Friends. Now, friends are a really touchy subject for some people. I know people like to have a lot of, close friends that they've had for years. But let me tell you a story really quick, and this is more of an example of what friends can be like if they're very negative and critical. Now, there was a crab in a bucket, and there was about 5 crabs inside the bucket. And one crab got very, let's say he got very wild and started crawling up the top of the bucket. And just when he reached up the top, a bunch of the other crabs pulled up, grabbed his legs, and pulled him back down into the bucket. Now, it's kind of what negative friends would do if you would tell them your dreams, your inspirations, your goals, and they would say, well, I didn't do that, so you're probably not going to accomplish that either. Now, it's kind of hard to hear that, but you're probably going to end up believing it after a while, after you keep hearing it. So, not saying you have to cut out your friends, just kind of avoid hanging out with them at certain times if you feel inspirational. Find friends that are supportive, that are uplifting. And the number one thing you should do is find someone that you want to hang out with that's doing something that you want to do and has already succeeded in a fashion. And that's going to uplift you to follow that person or follow that goal that you want to achieve, because you know it's achievable. If that makes sense to you. The paper. Now the local paper here in Indialantic is awesome. It always has good things to read in it, good stuff. It's always pretty positive. Now the bigger cities, or even Melbourne, I don't know, but my guess it'd probably be about 70% negative, because they're always, reporting the crime and everything's happening, and it's just not something you want to read before you go work out, or before you, want to do something uplifting. The internet could be used for good and bad. Anything that you read on the internet is up to you. You punch in what you want to read. Just be sure that when you read something, it's something that's going to, motivate you to do something and not want to go home and sleep. Food education. Now, food education is, you can never go wrong with it. Now, you can read the wrong things, but at least you'll know something more about food, that when you read the right things, you're like, wow, you can weigh these two and maybe see which one's right. Maybe ask a fitness expert. So there you have it, all the things that you can put into your mind throughout the day, or in the beginning of the morning, when you wake up and you turn that news on, you'll be like, I don't need that subconsciously going into my mind and affecting my decisions the rest of the part of the day. Because you don't know what you're listening to, but your subconscious does. And that affects what you think and what you do the rest of the day. So just by knowing that, you're a step ahead of the game, right? So, input leads to thoughts, thoughts lead to actions, actions lead to outcomes, outcomes either lead to success or failure. 2 options. Success leads to happiness, failure leads to frustration. So there you have it, you have everything that you need to achieve success. If you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to answer them. And if you want to click the link below the video, you can go to my website, and my website has a link that says get a free week at my gym. If you click that link, fill out your information, then send it over to me, I will get back to you as soon as possible. I really appreciate talking to you today. I hope you have an awesome rest of the day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.